All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Now, we all know the US Capitol is this ultimate, tangible symbol of real-world power, right? But for over 2 centuries, there's been a very different kind of history whispering through those hollowed halls. So today, we're actually going to look past the policy, past the politics, and explore an intangible, genuinely chilling legend. It's the kind of thing that even the most seasoned politicians still whisper about behind closed doors. We're talking about the ghosts of Capitol Hill.
Just picture this scene for a second. The gabbles stop echoing, the tourists finally clear out, the politicians head home for the night, and those massive historic corridors go almost entirely dark. It gets so incredibly quiet. But, is it actually empty? And that right there brings us to a 2-century-old mystery. Who or what is walking these halls at night?
Section 1. Shadows of Capitol Hill. So, to really understand how all this started, we have to go way back and look at the Capitol's original night watchmen in the 1800s. These guys were the literal first line of defense, and they documented this rapid-fire series of bizarre phenomena. I mean, we're talking heavy doors just swinging wide open on their own, lights flickering in these super drafty corridors, the distinct echo of footsteps in totally empty wings, and strange shadows appearing where literally no living person stood. Naturally, officials at the time completely dismissed it. But the thing is, the guards' reports, they never stopped.
Moving on to Section 2, the Phantom Watchman.
Eventually, those kind of vague, spooky shadows evolved into a very specific, highly documented fixture of Capitol lore. They called him the Phantom Watchman. He's always described the exact same way, a dark, silent figure wearing noticeably outdated clothing, usually appearing right near the government chambers. And honestly, the most chilling part, he doesn't menace anybody. He doesn't, lobby for a spectral bill. He just stands there, watching, in total silence, and then he just vanishes into thin air.
Section 3. Whispers in the dark.
Over the decades, this lore didn't just stay contained to the security team. It completely bled into the late-night workplace culture. I want you to imagine you're burning the midnight oil on some massive senatorial brief, and you're completely alone in your office. Well, staffers claimed they would hear these distinct, clear voices echoing from empty adjacent rooms. And even worse, actually, scratch that, way worse, looking up from your desk to see the reflection of a total stranger in the dark window glass, someone who simply wasn't in the room behind you. Yeah, no thank you.
But what's absolutely fascinating to me is how this legend adapts to the environment. Because the sightings aren't just random. They historically spike right alongside national anxiety. Capitol staff consistently reported surges in unusual activity during wartime years, during months of really intense political scandal, and, of course, major election weeks. It almost seems like the paranormal activity, or, at least the psychological manifestation of a highly stressed workforce, is deeply tied to the actual heartbeat of the nation itself.
Section 4. The Digital Revival. Now, you might think an old analog campfire tale like this would just fade away, right? But no, it's completely evolved. Back in the 1800s, this legend survived purely on whispered rumors among this tiny, exclusive group of insiders. But today, it's entirely democratized. The digital age has fueled a massive revival. We're talking popular podcasts and viral videos exposing these haunted corridors to literal millions. The format totally changed, but the fascination, that just multiplied.
And it's not just passive consumption either. There is an incredibly active online investigation going on. Internet sleuths are doing some serious detective work. They're literally dusting off 19th century guard reports and cross-referencing them with modern sightings being discussed on Reddit or YouTube right now. It's wild to see a whole new generation actively connecting these old historical records to today's digital mysteries.
Which naturally brings us to a wildly popular, albeit totally unproven, internet rumor. The idea is that hidden deep beneath Washington, there lies an underground archive containing classified records of all these unexplained incidents. Now, let's be clear, there is absolutely zero official evidence to back this up. But, in a town famous for redacted documents, the mere rumor of a secret paranormal archive acts like pure gasoline on the fire for these online detectives.
And finally, Section 5, Enduring Capitol Mysteries.
Look, to analyze this impartially, we really have to ground ourselves in reality for a minute. Consider the environment itself. You have an inherently high-stress workplace combined with an incredibly active imagination fueled by centuries of heavy history. Plus, let's not forget the Capitol is a massive 200-year-old building. It settles constantly. Its ancient heating and cooling systems naturally produce these crazy groans, hisses, and echoing thuds that could so easily be mistaken for a phantom footstep in the dark. Today,
thousands of people walk these very corridors and see absolutely nothing but marble and history. But considering everything we've unpacked in this explainer, you kind of have to weigh the evidence for yourself. Are these phenomena simply the groans of old infrastructure, the pure exhaustion of the job, and the power of suggestion? Or do the shadows of this 200-year-old building actually hide genuine, unexplained secrets?
I really want to leave you with this final thought. In a city built on power and secrets, perhaps some mysteries never leave. Whether you're a total skeptic leaning on building schematics, or you genuinely believe the Phantom Watchman is out there on duty tonight, this legend is just such a fascinating thread in the American tapestry. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep questioning what might be hiding in the shadows.